Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to That's Football for your latest transfer news, and it's a big week ahead. A big week ahead. The final week of June, the start of July, at the end of the week. It's a big week in the footballing terms because this is when contracts ends and people start coming back to training and back from holidays. So expect some big activity. But we're going to talk about Raphinha first. There was a story yesterday, and first of all, I just want to say Gabriel Jesus over the line for Arsenal now. Good signing for them. I think he will be a good signing. It's going to be very interesting how good a signing, but I think he will definitely make them better. But Raphinha, story came out over the weekend that Arsenal are now out of the race for Raphinha. He only wants a move to Barcelona. I can tell you that's not the case. Look, last week, we've had good info. As things stand, as a summary, Raphinha to Arsenal, still the favourites. Sterling to Chelsea, still very much happening. I'd add De Ligt into that. I still think Declan Rice might come into the Chelsea equation as well. Spurs, we're going to talk a bit about Spurs in a bit, but I think that Richarlison is obviously their target. Man City, I think Cucurella will happen soon. Not much happening with Liverpool at the moment. But look, let's go back to this story on Raphinha. Raphinha, as I tweeted at the start of last week, or maybe it was the week before, Raphinha to Arsenal, nearly there. Arsenal have blitzed this. Raphinha to Barcelona was always the story. But Barcelona have got financial issues. They're trying to sell De Jong. They might keep Dembele. If he doesn't stay, he could go to Chelsea still. But I think that the indication is he will stay. They want Bernardo Silva, Lewandowski, Koundé. That's what Barcelona are working on. Raphinha may want Barcelona, and you never say never in transfers. But as of now, Barcelona are not swooping in to take that deal. They're focused on many other things. And Arsenal are nearly there with Raphinha. They can pay what Leeds want. And the player really just has to commit. That might be quite a difficult thing, but I don't think it is. I think he's open to coming to Arsenal, and I think he'd suit Arsenal, he'd suit the Premier League. There's no doubt that Barcelona was his dream move, but that door is closed, and Leeds to Arsenal is a progression, and I think it will happen. I really do. I think they're almost there with it. So I don't. When I saw it last night, and I know if you're an Arsenal fan, you're always going to panic about these things because until they're holding up the shirt exactly, but that story in itself is not enough to change where we were last week and where we are going into this week. Of course, things are changeable. Who knows in transfers? We've seen it time and time again with Mourinho used to be the master of it, didn't he? He did it with Willian. I think Willian was going to Spurs and he ended up going to Chelsea. And I think that's happened a few times. So it can happen, but I wouldn't take that story as a reason to think that Raphinha's not coming. And as I said, we've been quite well briefed on this one from quite early days. The same as Sterling. In fact, it's the same source. So Sterling to Chelsea, we spoke about ages before everybody else. And Raphinha, as I said last week, almost there. And that's where we are with it. So look, it's never done till it's done, is it? But I expect Arsenal to get that deal done. They've been ridiculously efficient in the transfer window this year. They're normally a club that is battling with Manchester United for incompetence in the transfer window, but they've actually been very, very good, and I think they will continue to be. In fact, it's hard to keep up with what Arsenal are doing at the moment because they've brought a reserve goalkeeper in as well, haven't they? Someone called Turner. But I think Arsenal are going to be an interesting team next season, and as you know, unlike some Arsenal fans, as an outsider, I look at what Arteta's done, and alright, you might need a level of patience. But every step, you seem to look at it and go, yeah, I can see what he's doing there. Ultimately, it's whether he can get this team to improve on last year and keep gelling. But yeah, I still think Raphinha will happen. In relation to others, I just want to add Spurs, North London club. Very speculative story. It's very new at the moment. But Vardiel of Leipzig being linked to Spurs as a centre-back. I really like this player. I'm sure a lot of you know about who he is as well. United were tentatively linked to him a few weeks ago, but that was when we were being linked to a different centre-back every day. Be interesting to see if this story develops, because Spurs do want a centre-back. I don't know what's happening with Pau Torres at the moment, by the way. I mean, I think Pau Torres would suit Arsenal, Manchester United, Spurs, Chelsea. So, but he's still at Villarreal at the moment, and he's not really linked to Real Madrid or Barcelona. So I don't know what's happening with Pau Torres. I suspect we might see him in the Premier League, and maybe Spurs would be more suitable for him. Because we had heard about Lo Celso maybe being part of some deal. But Vardiel, very interesting centre-back, if that is the sort of player that they can bring in, and that'd be a good deal for Spurs. So keep an eye on that. Spurs very much about Richarlison at the moment. They've not finished their transfer business as well, and they've had a reasonable start to the transfer window, haven't they, with Basuma and Perisic going in, and I think they'll do more business as well. Man City, Cucurella, I firmly believe that will happen. Man City have been very efficient, and I think they'll look to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens this week, actually. Cucurella from Brighton to Tottenham. Brighton to Manchester City. Fantastic fullback as well, and another bit of good business for Manchester City there once that's done. And then I'd move to another London club, Chelsea. What are Chelsea doing? Nothing at the moment. Petr Cech leaving. That was surprising, but it's just an indication of what... You know what? This is why I'd love new owners at United, because not only would you change the Glazers, you'd change your CEO, your director of football. It's a clean house when you get a new... You'd probably change your manager as well. I don't want to change Ten Hag, but that's what a new owner tends to do. They just clear house. And it's difficult for some Chelsea fans because I think a lot of them like Petr Cech. But this is new owners with new ideas wanting to do new things. And it's going to be interesting because I don't think Chelsea's recruitment has been terrible. But then some people would say, well, has it been as good as it could be? We spend money, we sell players, we buy players, but have we been as efficient as we could be? And some Chelsea fans think it could be better. Chelsea, Sterling, I firmly believe and have been well briefed on this one from very early days that this will happen. Again, never say never, but I do think that happens. De Ligt, back end of last week, got good info on that Chelsea were going to push hard for him. And I think De Ligt would be a player that United would like, but suits Chelsea more in relation to their budget and how hard they'll go in on that. So I think De Ligt can happen as well. Dembele probably not, and I still look the Declan. I seem to be the only one talking about Declan Rice to Chelsea, because everyone's just assuming that he's staying at West Ham. But look, West Ham are in control of that situation. Respect to West Ham, and I think Lingard's probably going to go to West Ham if you're interested. But I think, and apparently they're after Ward-Prowse as well. Now West Ham being linked to Ward-Prowse makes me think, well, you can't play Ward-Prowse, Souček, and Declan Rice. And is my info on this starting to come in that Declan Rice, Chelsea, is going to happen this summer, not next summer? A lot of people think it's happening next summer. I think it's going to happen this summer because I think now is the time for West Ham to sell. I think Chelsea need a midfielder like that. He wants to go to Chelsea, and it would be a really big boost for Chelsea to do a deal like that. So look, keep your eye on that. It's early days, but I remember this happening with Grealish. A month before it happened, I was having conversations and people were saying that's definitely going to happen. I was like, But I do think that this Declan Rice deal is one to watch. Let's see what happens with that. I'm interested to see what happens with that one. We spoke about Barcelona as well. So big week ahead for everybody, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, smash a like. We will get developments on Raphinha, probably final developments. We will get some movement from Spurs, I think around Richarlison. Obviously, there's a lot going on at Manchester United. It is a big week because a lot of clubs are in a situation whereby people are coming back from their holidays and they come back to the club and they're like, am I staying or not? So those things start to develop. You also get the end of contracts on June the 30th. That tends to be what any footballing contract runs to, June the 30th, and then July the 1st. Free agents, new contracts. So there will be a lot of activity this week. I think it'll be a busy one. So make sure you subscribe, smash a like on the video. But yes, Arsenal fans, I wouldn't be panicking about Raphinha deal being over at this point. It's still almost there. I think really with Arsenal, it's about the player. I think it's whether the player really, really is committed to Arsenal. Or whether he's holding out for something else that actually isn't on offer at the moment. So I think it will be at Arsenal, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like, get your comments in below, and lots and lots for you to get your comments in about there. I think let's see what happens with Chelsea. I think they're going to be a very interesting team to watch over the next couple of weeks.